Hi friends, good evening. How are you all? Today my topic is frequency division multiplexing. As I have already told in the introduction that in order to multiplex the signals, modulation is the compulsory to multiplex the signal. So frequency division multiplexing it is the application of amplitude modulation as as I already told you that multiplying of signals, multiplexing, that is multiplexing are nothing but mixing of more number of signals through the single cable is nothing but multiplexing. So in order to multiplex so many signals, we have to do modulation because in order to avoid interference, we will do only modulation to avoid interference between the signals in the cable or the channel. So we are going for modulation. So let us consider this schematic diagram. I will briefly describe about the diagram. We are considering three message signals. As you know that the message signals are infinite bandwidth, but we have to limit the bandwidth because it is unnecessary to transmit infinite bandwidth, right? So we should pass through the low pass filter. Low pass filter, after passing through the low pass filter, the message signal is band limited. We are considering the signal band limited to 5 kilohertz. And similarly message 2 it is transmitted through the low pass filter, so it will pass only low frequency signals as it is low pass filter, so it is band limited to it is also band limited to 5 kilohertz. Similarly message 3 it is passed through the low pass filter, it is also band limited to 5 kilohertz. As I am using different figures describe that these are different signals, okay. And we will go for modulation. Why you are going for modulation means, as these signals are all in kilohertz, if you transmit directly through the cable it may get interfered, it may get distorted with one another, so are going for modulation. But we should remember that the frequency carrier, the carrier for modulating, or the carrier which you are using for the modulator for the signals will be different, then only we can avoid interference. If you use the same carrier, then even after interference, even after modulation also, we may have the chance of interference in the cable. So we are using the frequency carrier with frequency fc1 and the carrier with the frequency fc2, similarly carrier with the frequency fc3, and it is given to the modulation. After multiplexing, this is passed through the cable, and I have shown the figure 1 and figure 2. These are the spectrums of the signal, and after it is given to the band pass filter and it is given to the demodulator. Finally we will get back our message signals at the output. I will explain it briefly. I have already told that low pass filter is used in order to eliminate high frequency component or insignificant frequencies, so bandwidth of the signal is reduced. And as I told you that fc1, fc2 and fc3 are different cutoff frequencies. Choose depend upon the application to avoid interference. We can choose different frequencies fc1, fc2, fc3, but it always depends upon our application only. Assume that, and I said that the signals must be band limited to 5 kilohertz, as it is, one is in triangular, one it is in semicircle, one it is in rectangular. And the modulation technique, as here the modulation technique, we can use any type of modulation, but we can use any type of modulation. It may be amplitude modulation, double sideband or single sideband, there is no issue in it. Figure 1 and after, this is figure 1 and figure 2. The spectrum which I have drawn on the channel cable is figure 1 and figure 2. Figure 1 tells about the modulated spectrum with a guard band of about 1 kilohertz. As you see in the figure 1, it has the spectrums for the signal 1, signal 2 and signal 3 with the carrier frequency fc1 with the upper cutoff frequency fc1 plus 5k with the lower cutoff frequency fc1 minus 5k. Similarly for second message signal fc2 with the carrier FC2, similarly upper sided is FC2 plus 5k, similarly lower sided is FC2 minus 5k. Similarly for the message signal, third message signal with a carrier frequency FC3 plus 5k, FC3 minus 5k. But if you observe that for these spectrums, between the spectrum some gap is there. This is nothing but guard band. So here we are providing a guard band of about 1 kilohertz, and here we are using AM modulation, but I am saying it is not necessary to be AM modulation. We can use any type of modulation. In my application here I am using AM modulation. So bandwidth of the each modulated signal is 10 kilohertz. As you know that for AM modulation bandwidth is nothing but 2 into bandwidth of the message signal. So bandwidth of the message signal is 5 kilohertz. So you will get the bandwidth of the modulated signal is 10 kilohertz for each message signal. And figure 2. If you see figure 2 below figure 1, we have the spectrum with the carrier frequency FC2, FC3, FC1 with similarly upper sideband and lower sideband is there, as I have already mentioned above. But there is no gap between the spectrums. Between the spectrums FC1, FC2 and FC3. So as there is no gap, there is no guard band. So if there is no guard band, then we should use a band pass filter that must be ideal band pass filter and with a sharp cutoff frequency. But practically we cannot able to implement such a ideal band pass filter. So we will go for figure 1 or figure 1 type of implementation practically. So figure 2 tells about the modulated spectrum without guard band. Okay, all these signal, that is the spectrum, then passed through the band pass filter. Each band pass filter contain a certain cutoff frequency ranges. Based upon it, it will pass the modulated signal. This is not modulation signal, it is modulated signal. After modulated signal come out from the band pass filter, it is passed through the demodulation to recover back the original message signal. You know that the demodulation, we can use any type of demodulation. Envelope detector. I have already told you in AM demodulation techniques, you can use any type. And if the spectrum has a guard band, as I told that if the spectrum has guard band, then the practical band pass filter is used. That is the practical band pass filter with a sharp cutoff frequency we have to use, but practically it is not possible. If the spectrum doesn't have any guard band, then if the spectrum has guard band, then practical band pass filter is used. So practically you can implement the band pass filter, it doesn't have any sharp cutoff frequencies. If the spectrum doesn't have any guard band, then we will use the ideal band pass filter with a sharp cutoff frequencies. If it doesn't have any sharp cutoff frequency, it may include the signal belongs to other spectrum also. It may, if you want the frequencies ranging from FC2 minus 5k to FC2 plus 5k, if you use the practical filter, it doesn't have sharp cutoff ranges, so it may get the signal from the first modulated signal and the third modulated signal also. So it may cause some interference to the signal which you want, that is the second modulated signal. From the figure we are saying that. And so this is how it will all goes on. If the I tell you that the sharp cutoff will be used if it doesn't have any guard band. So, and again this is necessary to multiplex more number of signals. That means in order to put more number of signals at a time into the channel, we have to reduce the bandwidth, right? If the bandwidth is reduced, then we can able to add more and more number of signals into the channel. Practically the channel bandwidth should be greater than the signal bandwidth. the channel bandwidth always should be greater than the signal bandwidth. Then only we can transmit the signal from the transmitter side towards the receiver, else the signal get distorted in the channel itself. And this is how the frequency modulation works. And we have another type of modulation, that is time modulation. This is how the frequency division multiplexing works. We have another type of multiplexing, that is time division multiplexing. In the further chapters I will discuss about the time division multiplexing. So this is the application of the modulation. We can use any type of modulation, AM or SSB or DSB. It's your wish. And this is all about the amplitude modulation and its application. Now we are going about angle modulation. I will explain it. Let us consider a carrier signal. That is, we know that we are considering cosine terms from the starting of our course. So I am using the cosine only. AC cos 2 pi fct plus phi. These the terms which are present inside the bracket, that is 2 pi fct plus phi. This is nothing but the angle. If you consider cos 90, 90 is the angle. Similarly, AC cos of 2 pi fct plus phi is nothing but the angle theta of t. And I have already told you about the definition of modulation. If angle of the carrier, that is theta of t, is varied with respect to the message signal, then it is said to be angle modulation. Let us consider theta of t. Theta of t is nothing but 2 pi fct plus pi, where 2 pi fct has the frequency of the carrier and phi is nothing but phase of the carrier. In angle, theta of t has both frequency as well as phase. If the frequency is varied with respect to the message, then it is frequency modulation. If the phase, that is phi, is varied with respect to message, then it is phase modulation. Now I will discuss in this class I will discuss about introduction to frequency modulation only. In the next class I will show how we will get the expression for the frequency modulation and the modulation techniques also. But in this class I will only explain about the introduction to frequency modulation. Definition of the frequency modulation. If the frequency of the carrier is varied according to the message signal, then it is called frequency modulation. Simply what we say is the information, that is the message, is present in the variations in the frequency of the carrier. That is, the message is present in the variations of the carrier, variations in the frequency of the carrier. From the if you extract from the variations, you will extract the message signal. That is the main. This is how we will understand the concept. And Fc is the frequency. Let us consider Fc is the frequency of the carrier. Fi. If you take the carrier at starting, if you take the carrier, that is the carrier has the frequency Fc. Because we are adding with the message signal, that means the message signal we are adding in the frequency modulation is nothing but variation in the frequency of the carrier. So it will leads to Fi. Fi is nothing but the carrier, that is Fc plus or minus Kf into m of t, where Kf into m of t is the additional term which you got because we are adding the message signal to the carrier signal. So here it may be I have done wrong something. It is Fc plus or minus Kf into m of t, where Kf is the frequency sensitivity and its unit is hertz per volt. And I will tell you what is frequency sensitivity. It is defined as change in frequency of the carrier with respect to the unit change in amplitude of the message signal. What it does mean is, if the amplitude of the message is varied with respect to the variation in the amplitude of the message, there should be a variation in the variation in the frequency of the carrier. That is nothing but the information is present in the frequency only. So we are calling as frequency modulation. In previous class, if the information is present in the amplitude of the carrier, so you are calling it as amplitude modulation. Am I right? So this is how you'll understand. Okay. Let us consider the frequency sensitivity, that is kf is, this is constant value, we cannot change it won't vary. Kf is 5 kilohertz per volt and m of t is the message signal. Frequency modulator, it has I have told you that frequency of the carrier is varied and the carrier has the frequency fc. If m of t is 0 and fi is the modulated signal frequency, fi is equal to fc with additional term, that is plus kf. Kf is nothing but frequency sensitivity, that is 5 into 0. So fi is equal to fc. What it means is the message signal is not frequency modulated. You didn't modulate the message signal. So there is nothing change in the carrier signal. If m of t is equal to 2, that is we are considering m of t, amplitude of the message signal as 2. So fi is equal to fc plus 2 into 5, where 5 is the frequency sensitivity. So fi is equal to fc plus 2 into 5, that is equal to fc plus 10 kilohertz. Similarly, if you consider m of t is equal to 5, then fi is equal to fc plus 5 into 5, that is equal to fc plus 25 kilohertz. If you consider m of t is equal to 10, then fi is equal to fc plus 10 into 5, that is equal to fc plus 50 kilohertz. If you consider m of t is equal to minus 10, then fi is equal to fc minus 10 into 5, that is equal to fc minus 50 kilohertz. So let us consider the message signal. This is the origin and the message signal varies its amplitude from plus 10 volt to minus 10 volt. Then the frequency of the carrier is also varies its frequency from fc plus 50 kilohertz to fc minus 50 kilohertz. Here the frequency is varies from fc plus 50 kilohertz. This is nothing but fc plus delta f, where delta f is nothing but kf into m of t. This is frequency deviation. So it is varies from, so here frequency of the carrier is varies from fc plus delta f to fc minus delta f. The difference between these variations is 2 delta f, which is called carrier swing. Please note it, it is important. In one of the GATE exam they ask about this. In GATE exam this bit is asked in one of the GATE exam. So 2 delta f is the carrier swing. So I have given the introduction to the frequency modulation. In the next class I will discuss about the expression for the frequency modulation and how the frequency types of frequency modulation in the next class. Friends, as I have already told you that please maintain some proper handwritten notes by yourself and please revising the concept, and I will provide, and also please do the subject wise previous year's GATE papers. As I have already completed the amplitude modulation, please take some of the GATE papers and do amplitude modulation related problems. If you want only subject wise problems, then go for Satish Kashyap website, where you will get subject wise problems. Please keep practicing and keep improving your knowledge. Thank you friends. I will provide the link in the description. You may go towards the link and you will practice there. Thank you friends. Have a nice day.